What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Manbitesfilm, episode 66. We're three away.
Brandon knows how to count.
We're three away, gentlemen. We're almost there. As always, I'm your host, one of your hosts, Brandon. Joining me is my lovely cousin, Gecko, Lewis, whatever the hell you want to call him today.
Yeah.
Wow.
And my man that is back from Europe, William.
I am. Hello, everybody. It's good to be back. I would say I missed you guys, but I don't like to lie.
I'm pretty sure Italy is much better than staying behind in New York and talking to us two schmucks.
Only if you like grapes and religion.
What?
What?
That's a deep cut. I don't understand that one.
Grapes. Wine. Italy.
Stop whining, and then I'll be able to let you know.
The dad jokes have begun.
Right? I got 2 weeks to catch up on.
If you're catching us for the first time or the 66th time, we are a weekly movie podcast where we talk about movie news. We review one movie all together, and then at the end of the show, we review 3 movies individually. So, Lewis, take it away.
All right. So this week on movie news, we got the announcement that Joaquin Dos Santos.
Oh, I think you're gonna say Joaquin Phoenix.
No,
Phoenix.
I'm like, how dare you mess up my man's name like that?
No, it's Joaquin and
okay, hold on.
Dos Santos, and he's actually the what do you call it? Director and producer for Justice League Unlimited, Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Legend of Korra, Voltron, Legendary Defender, and the next thing that he's going to be adding to his list is the sequel to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I'm actually excited about this.
I'm assuming the sequel is going to be a story called. I didn't read it. I read Into the Spider-Verse in the comics, but right now, like recently, I think it was last year or the year before that, they did Spider-Geddon. So I'm assuming that's probably going to be the sequel to Into the Spider-Verse.
Possibly.
So
I don't know. They haven't announced.
We'll see. But I'm excited because as for anybody that listened to our what was it, the movie awards?
Yes.
I spoke very highly of.
I think we all did.
Yeah, we all did. But I reviewed it, and as I said in my review, it is the best Spider-Man movie, hands down. Even
by
after
far.
watching Far From Home, which I watched this past week.
Yeah, I was not impressed.
I liked Far From Home a lot. I thought it was a good tension. Like it after the tension of Endgame, Far From Home was nice because it just didn't take itself seriously.
I don't know. Whatever. But anyways,
you don't count because you suck. Have you seen Far From Home, William?
I mean, I was lucky enough that none of my friends spoiled it. Well, it came out July 4th.
Yes.
I was in Italy till the 14th. So
damn.
For 10 days, I was dodging everything.
Yeah. Jesus.
And then I landed on...
There's some major reveals, too.
I landed on Sunday at I think we landed at at 2 o'clock. We were back in the city by 5. I went to a 7 o'clock showing.
You would.
Savage.
You know what's funny? I'm so proud of you because, all 3 of us do a movie podcast and you wouldn't catch me fucking dead in a theater 2 hours after landing after what, an 8-hour flight or longer? I don't know.
And also, mind you, 7 o'clock at night now was 1 o'clock in the morning for me.
Yeah, you're probably super jet lagged.
Oh, you didn't fall asleep?
Right now, it's 3:50 a.m. in my internal clock. The only reason I'm still up is because I took 4 shots of espresso at work.
All right, so sorry for the derailment, Lewis. What is the rest of the movie news?
So, back to something Disney-related, because every week we have something Disney-related now with everything that they acquired. They have officially said that they are going to be producing rated R films. So yes, we are going to be getting rated R films. The first one that's on the slate is called Stubber.
Stubber?
Yeah, I don't know what it's about, but it's the first one, and it's officially announced. That the main important part is that they're actually not going to water down their movies like a lot of people anticipate it.
Because this also means that then we may still get like rated R
Deadpool.
X-Men movies or Deadpool,
Yeah.
which is good. Which
Yeah.
I'm definitely happy about.
Exactly, and everybody was worried about it, and Disney really didn't make any actual formal announcement saying that they were going to do anything otherwise. So it was good to hear that they're actually going to allow creative freedom and not taint the projects and make them, PC.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Speaking of making things rated R, did you hear the announcement for Mortal Kombat?
Yes.
No.
They actually so Mortal Kombat is going to be rated R.
Yes.
Ooh.
And they're actually going to have full-on fatality.
Yeah, they're gonna have fatalities in the movie.
Oh, nice.
Sounds so awesome, dude.
Oh, I want to see that spine pulling thing. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, that would be awesome.
I'm hoping to do like the old school fatalities, like
They
like
probably
spine
will.
pulling.
They definitely will. Honestly, if you guys haven't seen it, man, go like on YouTube and check out the fatalities from the newest Mortal Kombat, which is 11, the one that came out in April. Yo,
Yeah.
they're really creative with fatalities now. Like,
Yo,
it is
somebody's
insane.
smoking some good shit when they're coming up with that, man.
Yeah, like I thought you were like talking about someone in your building was smoking. I was like, what? No, yeah.
But when they do smoke, see, I live in the basement of my building, and there's like a little hallway, the path between my building and the building next door, and apparently that's a great place to go smoke because there's times where I wake up in the morning and I have a contact high, so it's great. I have, like right there.
Okay,
That's
all right.
hilarious.
All right, so yes. That's
so
cool,
next, yeah, seriously. I'm happy they're gonna do that because honestly, Mortal Kombat definitely deserves the rated R rating.
Oh yeah,
100%. And it needs it to actually be true to what it is.
yeah.
Not to keep derailing you, but did you ever see the Mortal Kombat series on YouTube?
No, never saw it.
No.
There's a Mortal Kombat series. It's only a few episodes, but it looks a lot better than, like, I won't say the first one, but it's a lot better done than the second Mortal Kombat movie. It's indie made. If you've ever seen the Dragon Ball Z live action on YouTube,
Yes,
it's along those lines. It's along like that well made. And it's a lot, like, it basically is a lot of backstories on how all these characters are coming to be and some of them, how they get their powers and everything. So if you haven't had a chance, and this is not my individual review, but if you haven't had a chance, because like each episode is like 15, 20 minutes. It's not like, like a full length thing. And there's only like 8 or 9 episodes. So if you haven't had a chance yet, go, and you like Mortal Kombat, go see it. You may actually enjoy it.
Sweet. That's awesome. I'm actually bookmarking it right now to check it out. The next thing that I wanted to go over is they are bringing back a throwback series on Netflix. August 9th. Spunky comes back with Rocco's Modern Life, Netflix original series that they are going to be doing in conjunction with...
Where?
On Netflix. They're
Yep.
bringing back
Yep.
they're bringing back Rocco's Modern Life.
Who's Rocco and what's his modern life?
Are you
What?
being honest? Have you never seen Rocco's Modern Life? Like, for real?
No, I'm being honest. I
Okay.
know
What?
that you're enthusiastic about this, but I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Are you serious?
It doesn't matter. Rocco's Modern Life was a animated TV show on Nickelodeon in the 90s that is Rocco's a wallaby. He has a little dog named Spunky. His best friend is Heifer, who's a cow. And
Yes.
I forgot the turtle's name.
Oh, I don't remember his name either. God damn it.
Yeah, and then
I'm
he
just
had
gonna Google it now.
yeah, it's
Oh,
really
dude.
it's such a good show. It really is a good show.
It's imagine a tamer version of what do you call it? What are these two idiots called?
Fucking Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, it's like a tame version of Ren and Stimpy.
Okay. So I know what you're talking about. No, I've never seen the show, but now that I've looked up the pictures for it, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes, and they should bring back Ren and Stimpy as well.
Well, they did.
Well, they did.
They brought it back to Spike TV, the uncut version or whatever.
Yeah.
That's
So,
awesome.
Yeah, seriously, I'm excited for it.
So this
honestly,
is this like the original creators and all stuff, like the original writers, all that, the original voices. Everyone's coming back for this, or
all
is
I
it...
know is that it's the original creators. What that means, I don't know if it means the producer or director. I haven't researched that far into it,
I'm
but
assuming all the people that did the voices are probably coming back, and
it doesn't state that in the article that I read. Unfortunately, it doesn't go into that.
Okay.
But the next thing that I want to go into is Shudder has been purchased by AMC. So
Interesting.
now they are going to be part of AMC, meaning a lot of those films that are AMC, like the Walking Dead series, all that stuff,
Yes.
is going to be part of Shudder now. So I'm wondering if it's going to be in conjunction with them and they're going to actually be able to stream Walking Dead series as well.
Probably, I wouldn't doubt it.
And Fear the
I don't
Walking
see why not.
Yeah, it's a horror show. It's a horror streaming service.
Yeah.
It's a match made in heaven.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm excited about that because that's going to bring a lot more films to Shudder, and it's going to give them a lot more buying power, which is going to be awesome. So I'm excited about that. Next thing that I was hinting at when we're before recording and all that stuff, Doom Annihilation is coming out this year,
What the hell?
and it's the sequel
What?
to Doom. It's the movie sequel to Doom.
Oh,
Right.
they're making a sequel to that?
Yep.
Ew, dude. The fuck?
Why?
I'm kind of excited about it. I don't know. Like,
Well, that makes fun of us.
That first Doom, right? DOOM, is that the one you're?
yeah.
Okay, the one with the Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
I mean,
was
it was
fucking
decent.
horse shit.
Whatever. It was
It
alright.
was decent for what it was at the time that it was.
It's a
and I mean,
fucking
we all
action
got-
movie.
We all got that thing that, like, you know, at the time where he's like running around like he's the actual character, which, let's face it, we were all hoping that they would do, and
Oh,
they did.
the first person part. In
Yeah.
the
Like
movie?
the first person shooter.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a fan service kind of movie. It was a popcorn movie. It was one of The Rock's first roles.
Look, it's
So it
that
was enjoyable, but
the-
like to make a sequel.
the problem with the movies is that they have video games. There's just something about them. You can't make them into movies, dude. It doesn't.
Well, there's
transfer.
too much story. That's why.
It's not
like,
even that. It's like you're losing something. You know, you're losing the whole like the interaction between the player and the game. You know, like you can't get that in a movie, unfortunately. So you lose some of that. And on top of that, there's way more story than you can pack into a 2.5 hour movie, or even less than that. You know.
Yeah. Perfect segue, actually.
Oh,
Speaking
man.
of like
Roger.
interaction and everything, one of the most famous things in all existence has joined Instagram and Twitter, and it is Godzilla is officially now on Instagram and Twitter.
Excuse me? Like, what do you mean by that?
Like Godzilla, like he has an actual official Instagram and an official Twitter now.
That's fucking hilarious.
I know it is, isn't it?
He sends you a voice message like, "Meow," that weird ass fucking screeching sound that he makes.
I'm not gonna lie, that was funny.
So the last bit of movie news that I wanted to bring up is I gotta clear my throat because I find it hilarious.
Let me
Um,
clear my throat.
Actually, technically, don't you have two movie news? Because I know this one that you're bringing up. We'll bring up the other one after. Don't worry about it.
Endgame hasn't made its goal to beat
Yeah.
Avatar, Mr. William Phoenix.
Okay, so all right, so since you're playing this game, I will play your game, sir, because I know that Carl's gonna come and bite you in the ass. So
You
I
know
will
what's serious
say-
when you hear him? You know what's serious
When?
when you hear him hit the button? The like he hit a number on his phone. He's like beep. That was good. That was good.
I didn't hit my phone though.
Yeah, you did. You heard it, right, Lewis?
Yep, I did.
Yeah. No, it's okay that you did. I'm not like calling you out. It was just funny. It's like,
No. I'm just saying it's weird because my phone is sitting 3 feet away from me, and both my hands are on my controller.
that's weird.
I'm not even touched. When I record, my phone does not get touched.
Fucking cue the
That was weird.
the X Files.
Dun.
No, cue the X Files like doo doo doo. No, look.
So when
go ahead.
Endgame will overtake Avatar because it's a matter of when at this point, not if. I will get I will announce it, and I want to hear you just say like, yes, it finally beat it.
Can you get the
Well, that's the thing.
Can you get the logo?
It will never beat it. It will never beat it because adjusted for inflation, it will never touch it. It adds another 40, almost $60 million to it. So
also, don't forget that Endgame may be a little behind, but to get where he got, Avatar was in the theaters for 10 months and then got re-released to get to where it is now.
It was also number one in the box office for almost 2 months.
Why are you defending this movie so much? That's what I want to know.
I just like trolling William because it's funny.
Gotcha.
And, no, I know. But I will take my licks. But when the day comes,
but also
Avatar,
I think it's a good movie. I will fight anybody that says it's not a good movie because
it's an okay movie.
It's a good movie. It's not a good movie.
It is a good movie.
Okay, so I will say this because I know we had this discussion earlier on Facebook. I will reiterate this. The cinematography, the way that it's made, the CGI, the 3D effects, like in that sense of filmmaking, it's a great movie. It was very well done. The imagery still stands to this day. And, they've made Avatar Land for some reason.
Dude, but the special effects 10 years later are still impeccable.
But the storyline sucks.
No, it doesn't. It's a fucking great story.
It's Pocahontas meets Fern Gully with tall blue people. That's what
First of all, it is not Fern Gully. No. I strongly
Gully.
Disagree with that.
It is Fern Gully, dude.
It's Fern Gully, just without the bat.
But no, like, honestly, all right. So I wanted to bring up this point before. What it hasn't been, like, refurbished, remade, all that stuff. Your favorite series, Harry Potter.
Titanic was, though based on a true event, was an original story.
Okay.
So it is possible. Like, even if
it is possible.
James
of course
Cameron,
it is possible.
Aliens, Terminator, or at least the original Terminator and Terminator 2, those were original stories. Those were not taken really from
no. Terminator
anything.
was actually taken from an Asimov story. It was a short story from Isaac Asimov. He was like the...
Okay,
Asimov.
All I'm saying is that Avatar, like, you can take hints and take little stories or little, things and make them your own thing. Avatar is not even your own thing. Avatar
it is. They created the whole blue people, the creatures. They created a whole different world. No, they created a whole different world.
The storyline, okay, imagine John Smith coming to America, meeting somebody of a different tribe, falls in love, decides to integrate into the tribe. I mean, does that ring a bell?
The phone button? Yes, it did ring a bell.
Okay. Wait, did the phone go off again?
Yeah, it did. It's every time you get angry, you like Hulk out and your phone.
It's like your phone's bleeping you out. It's like, chill, bro. Stop.
The funny thing is that, like, I don't even hear it. Like, I don't. And again, my phone has been sitting 3 feet in front of me.
It's super
and I wish I could take a picture to show you where it's sitting, and that I'm not. It's not even turned off.
I think it did it again.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Maybe the microphone's too close. I don't know.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It's just funny though.
Anyway,
anyways, no, like, honestly. On. So, all right. So check this out. Original stories. Tell me an original story because I guarantee you I could debunk it.
Oh damn it.
I could debunk it. Harry Potter copied off of Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings copied off of what do you call it, King Arthur and Beowulf. And it goes on and on and on. Star Wars, same thing. Hidden Fortress. Hidden Fortress was taken from Shakespeare. So all our fandoms.
The Room.
It's a real, I mean.
What's The Room taken from?
I don't know. I gotta look into the whole story of The Room because I didn't even understand the whole story of The Room. So I don't know.
You're tearing us apart, Lisa. Sorry.
This is what Avatar's doing to us. You're tearing me apart, Avatar. You're tearing us apart.
All right, fuck this argument. Last thing on the movie news is the James Bond thing. I wanted to
Yes.
Not James Bond, 007 now.
007. Okay, so there's a misconception. Everyone's freaking out that this actress, I'm sorry, I forgot her name. Let me look her up so I don't.
Yes, but she is going to be playing 007, but
at the end of Spectre, he denounces, spoilers, that he is 007. He's still James Bond. She is the new 007, and her name is Lashana Lynch.
Correct. But that hasn't officially been announced by the studio as of yet. They have not confirmed, they have not denied, they haven't said shit. So technically, the studio for the James Bond and 007 movies has not officially said that this is true. It's all been hearsay from news outlets and all that stuff. It has not been sent out by the studio as of yet. So technically, this is not official news.
I don't know, dude. It's everywhere.
It was Daily Mail.
Everywhere.
Daily Mail broke the news, and then everybody has cited Daily Mail as their source. They have not said it from the official studio. So take it with a grain of salt as of right now.
But at the end of it, all I wanted to say was, she is not James Bond.
And she's going to do good as 007. I'm actually excited to see what they're going to do with it.
People are freaking out. They're like, she's fucking James Bond. It's like, no, read, you dumb bitch. Jesus.
Yeah, that's why you mad, Brandon.
God damn. Is that people are dumb, man. The internet, God, no one reads. They read one sentence and then they come up with their own little, like, theory or whatnot. And it just pisses me off. Read, you dumbasses.
I think we all got pissed about something today.
I'm like, Jesus. All right.
William with his green people obsession, hatred, and, all that.
Like, green people? What green people?
Blue? Or blue people. Yeah, that too.
Jesus Christ, he doesn't even know the color.
Colorblind motherfucker.
What's wrong with
you? I'm fucking colorblind.
Oh my... Okay. Stay tuned after this quick break when we're going to come at you with our new, not so new segment, the movie bucket list.
And less bickering.
Welcome to an exploration of sight and mind, a travel through the world of films and the artists that bring you these masterpieces. Do you love films, directors, actors, cinematographers, editors, composers, or any of the hundreds of artists that bring you these feats of art? I am Luislacau, your host, into the world of films, your guide to Man Bites Retro.
2, 1. Alright guys, welcome back for our new, not so new segment, the movie bucket list, where William surprises Lewis and myself every week with a movie off of these posters he has, and we all not bicker between ourselves.
No more bickering. That was the movie news.
No, I'm just joking. And we decided if it should or should not be on this list. So, William, what is the movie this week?
So the movie I picked has become a cult classic. Like, it was pretty much a cult classic right up the...
Evil Dead!
No. Later in time than Evil Dead. Man, I mean, there's so many quotes that have come from this movie. I don't know. Let's see. How can I give this away? I just need a little flair in my life.
You could just say it. You could just say the title of the film.
No, because we have to suffer through Lewis doing it. Now it's my time to do it. You will not take away my glory. You
Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead.
No, that has no flair. There is no flair. There's just enough flair in that one. But
I don't know.
This movie's like almost stapled together.
Oh my god, I know what it is you're talking about. I just can't fucking remember the name of the movie. God damn it.
I'm completely lost.
That we all love to love because
God damn it.
we've all...
The computers, the memos,
I will send you a TPS report, but you have to put a cover letter. That would be great.
Oh my God! Why Office
And the
Space?
movie
God
I'm
damn
talking
it!
about is
Office Space.
Yeah.
Office Space.
And
Office Space
yes,
is this week.
we have not done Office Space that I know of.
Is it on the list?
Go check, motherfucker. Yes, it's on the list.
Oh, I have not seen Office Space in a hot minute as a kid.
Oh, I was about to say, I was like, you haven't seen Office Space?
No, I've seen Office Space. I haven't seen it in a hot minute, as the kids say nowadays. But
You understand you're the youngest one of us
shut
three.
the fuck up!
Right?
I'm almost 30 years old,
You're
Get outta
almost
here.
30.
You're
Motherfucker,
like
I'm
missing
almost
3 years
40.
on that one.
dude. I'm about to. I turned 28 in less than 2 months. I'm almost 30. I'm almost there.
I turned 40 in less than 12 months. Shut the fuck up.
Damn, dude, you're old.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Fuck.
you walking fetus, shut up about being old.
You called me a fetus, and then your phone decided to do that weird beep thing.
I don't know. Maybe it's not my phone. I'm not even touching my phone.
That maybe it's the program.
Okay, so now I moved my phone away. So we will see now.
I don't think it likes William. That's what it is.
This turned from a movie podcast into us troubleshooting William's phone so that it stops doing the beeping sound. No, it's fine. So Office Space. The couple times that I've seen, I really enjoy the movie, especially, of course, the scene where he's beating the ever-living shit out of the...
Yes.
What is it?
Out of the printer?
It's a printer.
Yeah,
I was like,
printer.
is it a printer or a computer? I forgot.
No, it's super famous. A freaking printer, yeah.
And then, like, the part when they're leaving and then he comes back and they have to grab him. And
yeah.
It's just... Oh, my God. It's so
And
ridiculous.
his neighbor. It reminds me of Clerks. It's like a modern version of Clerks. That's what I think of it.
Yeah. It's just it definitely it's a little, of course, like over the top because it's a comedy, but it definitely shows you the monotony of just like an office, of having an office job.
That's very true.
Because that can blow depending on where you work, what office you're in.
I've been in office jobs for the last 6 years. It is like that. It is mind-blowingly like. You lose your soul in it, and that woman with the receptionist, please hold, please. That has actually happened to me so many times. Where I've gotten to the point where I'm very blunt at work, and a lot of people will attest for this.
Blunt with customers or blunt with like your coworkers?
With my coworkers,
okay.
And I've told them, dude, you sound like you are a robot, an answering machine. Please break up your words. Pronunciate your words.
Pronunciate? Is
Did you say pronunciate?
Pronunciate. That's right.
No, it is
I made up
not.
a word.
As opposed to enunciate?
Yeah, that too.
The fuck, man? Who taught you English?
Miami people.
Damn.
Oh my God, that was great.
I've lived.
So I really can't laugh at that because we were sitting in Italy somewhere. I forgot where we were, and I was having dinner with Tamara, and I'm like, I could have sworn it was a word. Apparently it wasn't. But I was like, I want to thank you for all the time that you took to planish. Oh my God, what was the word that I said? It wasn't like to plan all this. Planificate. I want to say something like planificate.
Pontificate.
I think it was just like, I was thinking pontification, but it was like, and she was like, I'm sorry, what, honey? She's like, to what now? And I thought that she was just being funny, and I'm like, to planificate or planify. I forgot what the word is. I'm sure that like she'll remind me as soon as I get off the air. But I was like, so I can't really like laugh at that too much. But it's still like, what was the word you used again?
Pronunciate.
Pronunciate.
Or pronunciate or pronunciate. Honestly, going back to Office Space.
Office Space, yes. It
Yes.
deserves
it. It's a really good comedy. I think it's it'll in the. Do people consider it to be a classic now? Or
I do, yeah.
I think if anything, it's definitely a cult classic.
It's not a. I wouldn't say it's a cult classic. It's become a classic of our generation, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, like definitely, you know, like our
So
parents,
it's
our parents, or not. I guess your parents, because you were born in what 80, William?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, dead on 80.
Okay, so yeah, I guess your parents could be like, you know, you ask your parents like, oh, what's a comedy classic of your time? It's like Animal House, you know, shit like that. Well, we could say, oh yeah, Office Space is a classic, as a comedy classic from the, you know, late 90s, early 2000s era.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Definitely
definitely, it should be on this list. Short, concise, sweet, to the point. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing? Where are you going with this?
I don't know.
I would probably put it in
time for all the time that we used up.
Look, I got home really late last night playing D&D. God, I'm such a nerd. And me, if I get less than like 6 hours of sleep, I don't function properly, and I'm like dying today. Like I can't wait to sleep after we finish. And William is probably super tired because he's jet lagged and whatnot. You, Lewis, you're a fucking weirdo.
I got 3 hours of sleep last night.
You're weird.
All right.
You're weird. I can't function like that. So, moving on. Stay tuned.
No, hold on. Where would you give it?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
William, you didn't give a rating.
Between probably 50 and 60.
Brandon?
70s to 80s.
I agree with you, Brandon. 70s to 80s. Definitely put it up there.
Yeah. I think it's a good movie, but
it's on the upper part of the list. The topper part.
Jesus Christ.
Wow, we're just not Englishifying well today.
Oh, that should be our tagline. We don't English well.
All right, guys.
Three idiots and a mic. We don't English.
That covers.
All right, guys. Stay tuned after this quick break when we come at you live. Oh, I didn't shout today. It was more sultry.
Sultry.
With the main... Yeah.
Did you guys like my little nods to the show when I was doing videos?
Yes.
Where I'm like, we're coming to you, not live.
Hey.
From Italy.
I'm in his thoughts in Italy. He's in the motherland. And I'm in his thoughts. It's so beautiful. So beautiful. All right, so when we come at you live with our main review, which is Resurrectdead, The Mystery of the Toynbee Tiles.
Yes. Yes.
Hey, you lovely nerds. This is Nisha M., your geek mom from Diversely Geek. Diversely Geek is a global non-profit that promotes self-acceptance by highlighting the positive message of fandom. We're all fans of something that has affected us for the better. We like to express that love by embracing our inner geeks with you all on our podcast Diversely Geek Discusses. We also have a podcast for any Whovians out there called Doctor Who in Review. We often partner with Manbitesmedia, so you're bound to come across us sooner or later. You can find us all on our podcast platforms as Diversely Geek Discusses and on social media platforms as Diversely Geek. You can also subscribe on our website, diverselygeek.org, where you can find our podcasts, videos, original content, articles, and so much more. And remember, there's some good in this world, Mr. Aslan.
All right, guys, welcome back to our main segment, live.
Always live.
Which is Resurrectdead, The Mystery of the Toynbee Tiles. Toynbee idea in Kubrick's 2001 Resurrectdead on planet Jupiter. The fuck does that mean? God knows.
That's what this whole documentary is all about, that trying to figure out who this guy is or woman that was implanting these tiles that stated that exact statement that Brandon just said.
Yes.
All throughout the United States and the world, we found out.
Yeah.
And
have they, since this documentary, found out who has done these tiles? Or no?
Not officially.
Gotcha.
They haven't been able to trace back this person that they're talking about in the documentary.
Because I'm pretty sure the person in the documentary is the person. I would not doubt it.
I don't think so, because I think he's too young. I think it was somebody that he knew.
The guy, Scifi?
Yeah.
Really? Interesting. So, one thing I want to point out, the dude that wanted to do this entire thing, Justin Dewar,
Yeah.
He oh my god. My man sounds crazy. Like, he sounds like definitely this is a man that is like 9/11 was rigged. My man is probably the biggest like conspiracy theorist. Is that a word? Did I English properly?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Conspiracy theorist. It sounds right. So yeah, he saw these tiles, and he just went crazy and like, not went crazy, but he made it a mission in his life that he was going to figure out where these tiles were. Ever since like the mid 90s, when he first saw them, and it's creepy. There is definitely something really interesting, like.
It's just interesting how they placed them, like, where they put them, and once they actually trace down the fact that these guys did this whole urban, like, this was a big thing in the 90s, though, because it was also the same era of the street art movement, and this is not the only thing that's been coming out about street tiles being implanted, or geocaching started in the 90s. That's all a thing that's been going on since the 90s, like this kind of guerrilla urban scavenger hunts type of thing. And this was one of the biggest, like, big things that happened in the 90s. I remember people talking about this. This was actually had a whole section in the Anarchist Cookbook about researching the Toynbee tiles. And it was because it became this huge cultural phenomenon, and it was one of the first, like, websites that people were actually going to and migrating to. It was one of the big, like, first conspiracy websites that people were actually going and interacting on. It had a whole, like, discussion rooms and all that stuff. And I had a friend that was obsessed with it.
Oh fuck! Are you okay, William, over there?
I'm fine.
Oh.
I'm just listening to it.
Yeah, it sounds like you're beeping.
No, it's not even that you're beeping. It just sounded like you're. Oh my god! What the fuck was that? That scared me.
It sounds like you're tapping on the phone or something, or tapping on the desk or something.
Oh my god, my hands are on my controller doing absolutely nothing.
Bro, we must be crazy, dude. It's okay. Continue.
I am losing my mind over this now. I'm like, I'm just gonna, like, sit here and hold my breath for the rest of the show.
One thing I want to... These things remind me a lot. I don't know if these are all over the world or if it's just a Miami thing, but in Miami, if you go around, you come across little guys from Space Invaders. Have you ever noticed?
That's actually what do you call it? You have to watch Through the Gift Shop.
Oh,
or
okay.
Into the Gift Shop or something like that. That's actually a guy that he does street art.
Oh, okay, because
that's his tag.
They're like randomly everywhere, dude. Like, you'll just look up on a wall and you'll just see a guy from like the little alien from Space Invaders, and you're like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
And that's everywhere. That's everywhere. That's Paris, all over. They have them all over. Okay. That's another great documentary that it's Through the Gift Shop, I want to say. God damn it, what is it called?
Interesting.
It's a really Exit Through the Gift Shop. It's called, and it has it's the story of Banksy and Mr. Brainwash, Space Invader, all these guys, and it's the whole street art movement and all that stuff. But this is very similar to that. I mean, this is all kind of it's the culmination of street art and that the whole urban exploration and trying to find things that people used to do in nature in urban settings, in city settings and cityscapes and stuff like that. Not going out to nature and doing all these explorations, but doing it in the city and finding cool, amazing things.
I enjoyed the documentary. I've seen it. This is the second time I watched it. Excuse me, because I watched it with you one time when you came to Miami. I just, again, I want closure, and I know I won't get that, but I'm like, God damn it, who is doing these things?
Oh, then you're going to hate Exit Through the Gift Shop because they never reveal who Banksy is. And still to this day, nobody knows who Banksy is.
No one will ever know who Banksy is. It's fine. It's okay. William, are you okay? Are you alive?
I'm here. I'm listening.
Okay. He's like, I hated this documentary. It was
okay, it's not that I hated it. It was just like, and you guys know I love conspiracy theories. It just was not my cup of tea when it came to conspiracy theories. It just, like, it took me 3 tries to watch this. I mean, granted, I was also jet lagged, so yes, it could have definitely played into it.
Yeah.
But it just, I don't know. Like, I was waiting for the payoff, and it was just like, okay, it's around the corner. Okay, it's around the corner, and then it just never comes. And I'm like, I don't know. I like conspiracy theories, but I also like conspiracy theories that kind of like lead somewhere. This one just kind of like we found these tiles, we follow the train, and then at the end it's like, oh, well, this guy that was following conspiracy theory has now moved on to a different conspiracy theory and doesn't really care about this one anymore. And it's like, okay, so you're making me watch the story about this guy into a conspiracy theory, and even he doesn't care anymore about it. So why the hell am I watching this? Like,
well, because it's fascinating. It really is fascinating.
But it's not. It's really not. It's I don't know. Like yeah, it is fascinating how they just appeared, but it's like some dude laid down a tile. Whoopity-doo!
Have you ever put tiles on cement? You know how hard it is to do, and how like skilled you got to be to be able to put.
I'm assuming there has to be a lot of heat involved, right?
Not even. You know what he did? He was actually like, well, yes, it was heat, but it was like a cement that would go quick drying cement type of thing, and he would put his car and park it in the middle of an intersection, and he had a hole cut out in the car.
I remember them talking about that. They had like floorboards floorboards missing.
Exactly. And then he would just wait there and park there and then just place them down and let them be. That's why some of them are disturbed and messed up, because the cement didn't dry enough or whatever before somebody ran into it.
Nice.
Yeah. But I honestly, I really enjoy this documentary. It's streaming on Amazon Prime, and it's just one of those documentaries for me that got me into my documentary craze that I did. It blew my mind when I saw it, and I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. I remember this adventure. I remember people talking about these things, and I never got any closure with it anywhere like near where this guy got. So I was like so happy to see somebody following up with it and actually seeing how far
maybe
he
that's
could go.
the reason you enjoyed it more than William and I did, because like I didn't know anything about these tiles until I saw the documentary. So I didn't have like this like connection to them, I guess, for lack of a better like term. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's also because like when we talked last. Okay, well, it had nothing to do with why I didn't find it fascinating. But like the last show, we're like, oh, we're doing Old Boy, and I was like, okay, cool. And then like halfway through my thing in Italy, you guys just messaged me, and you're like, here's a documentary, and I didn't realize that you guys had completely switched it up on me until like just a few days, and I was like, oh crap, okay, so I guess we're doing this now.
I was under the assumption we were doing also Old Boy. I even said it. I asked Lewis, and then he's like, no, we're not doing Old Boy. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was just, I was as surprised as you were. But
well, because there's a different reason why.
I know.
Old Boy is on that collection, and it on the top 100 films, so we're going to be able to cover it then. So there's no point in covering it now, you know?
Yeah, true. But, all right, any last closing statements for Resurrectdead?
I give it a 7 out of 10.
I'd go a little lower. I'd go like 5.56. It's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad. It's okay. It's like, meh.
Yeah.
It's like...
William?
If you have interest in it, it's a well-done documentary. So I would probably give it a good 8 out of 10. If it's not your cup of tea, it's probably more of a 4 or 5 out of 10. So it really, so it's really, like Brandon said, it's not a bad documentary. It's not a horrible documentary.
No.
You have to be into that specific kind of theory or conspiracy theory to enjoy it, because otherwise you're just going to feel like,
I agree. All right, so that was Resurrectdead. Stay tuned after this quick break for the final segment of our show. Not live, never live. This segment is never live.
Never.
If anybody ever says that it's live, they're lying to you. Don't believe them.
Lies. All lies.
All lies. For the individual reviews.
As the songs of awakening rang through, the world was created. The silence was broken.
Middle-earth, with its rolling hills, broken mountains, flowing rivers, and beautiful forest, was created.
Cellar Door is a journey into the mythology, the mystery, and the beauty of Middle-earth. Sit back
Close your eyes.
and imagine.
Alright guys, welcome back for the final segment of our show, the individual reviews. I'm going to be going first this week. And thanks to you, Lewis, because I've been using your Amazon Prime because I forgot my dad's login, so I've been using yours. I finally got around to watching Hereditary.
Oh.
Of course, if you haven't been living under a rock, last year, Hereditary was this horror movie that kind of came out of nowhere, and everyone was like talking about it. It's
an A24 film. I mean,
yes.
Any of the A24 films have been really good.
Yeah. So everyone was talking about it, whether it was you didn't like it or you liked it. So I never got around to it because if you listen to our show by now, you know that I don't go to the theater a lot because I'm a poor piece of shit. So I saw that Hereditary was streaming on Amazon, so I was like, perfect, I'm going to watch Hereditary. So I watched it, and it's okay.
What?
I love you, Brendan. I love you so much right now. Oh my god, I wish I was in the same room as Lewis just to see his face. Hyping up to it, and you're like, hey, it was okay. Moving on.
Look, I think he's close. I think the director, Ari Aster, I'm sorry if I mispronounced his name. It is a man, right? I don't want to say he's a man and then it's a woman and then I get fucking roasted online. No, okay.
It doesn't matter.
No. Yes, it does. It's a he. It's a he. I just looked it up. I feel like he's on the mark, dude. He's right there. But I feel like Hereditary, for me personally, kind of missed the mark a little bit. And that's why I'm curious to see Midsommar, which is currently in theaters right now. Midsommar, which is his second film, which is also another horror film.
Yes, it is.
So that's why I'm kind of, after watching Hereditary, I'm kind of curious to see Midsommar, because maybe that one will click with me. Hereditary just, for me personally, did things well. It's creepy. There's a lot of things that are really off-putting about the film. Like, I remember, what was the scene?
And Toni Collette, dude, she blew her performance.
Her performance is incredible. Like, she
should have been on the Oscars, but and she didn't. It was so
there's a scene in the film when she gets into an argument with her son at dinner.
Yes,
and she like fucking completely loses it, and she legitimately looks angry and like crazy. She looks like not mentally okay. And
dude, Millie Shapiro, the one that plays the daughter.
Yes, yeah,
dude.
The little clicking thing. That
my god, that stuck with me for the longest time last year when I saw it.
Have you seen Hereditary?
Yeah, that scene with that person that happens in that time, that was great.
Oh my god, I was about to ask you if you'd seen the movie. I take it you have not.
I have not seen the movie yet. No.
Yeah, so there's a couple.
No, remember, William doesn't watch good movies. Oh. If it's not Marvel, he doesn't watch it.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Look,
okay, no, it's gonna be like that. No, that's cool. That's cool, man.
I don't know, like
come at you.
Look, there were a couple scenes in the movie that like legitimately were freaky to me, like the scene when he wakes up and you see something kind of pitter across the wall behind him, and it's a person.
Dude.
Like, there are scenes like that are creepy, but I feel like the movie takes way too long to kind of, like, get into gear.
It does.
It's slow. Like,
It is
really
very
slow.
But that's A24. All the A24 movies are like that. The Witch, that was the same way. It was a very slow, melodic movie, but it builds and it gives you this world building that you don't see in horror movies anymore. This is like Rosemary's Baby. This is like The Exorcist. These are all these classic horror films made now. And this is what we're getting now.
I will say this about, I have obviously not seen the movie Hereditary, but I've seen the previews to Midsummer. And I'm on the fence about it because I know that they're talking about, like, it's taken from, like, a cult point of view.
Yes.
But the way that it's filmed, it's very pagan-based.
Yep.
And being of the religion, it always makes me cringe because it's just one of those, like, it puts us in such a bad light, and that's not how we are. But you get those closed-minded people that are like, oh, this is what pagans do, and they sacrifice people. And it's like, and that's not what it is. And it's like, I wish that they would literally... And it's hard to make a movie about paganism because we're so broad and so, like, it's not like the Bible where we have a book and you can base stories off of that book and make movies off of it. Our Book of Shadows, everybody's Book of Shadows is different than anybody else's. We have our basic laws, but as far as the details goes and everything else, that's different. So watching it and seeing how it's portrayed, which makes it look like it's, you know, pagan based, or I'm like, oh no, like it's going to be another quote unquote witch hunt, and it looks good. Don't get me wrong, and I'll probably go check it out because I'm interested by it. But I'm hoping that they make a clear distinction that this is in fact not paganism.
They don't. They stated that this is from what I've heard, and this is from other people that are pagan as well and practice, and they said that they do a good job respecting the beliefs.
Okay.
That's exactly what they told me. So I was like, okay. Because I was on the same fence. I really don't like movies like The Witch that portray it in a negative light, or like all these other movies that portray it in such fucking atrocious way. And it's like, dude, really? We're going to see this again?
Yeah.
And I agree with you 100%. Now, Brandon, I want to ask you, because you've seen A Quiet Place, correct?
Yes, I have.
So last year, the debate was Hereditary or A Quiet Place. Which one would you say is the better of the two?
Personally, for me, A Quiet Place.
I agree with you 100%.
I think this is like an artsy fartsy horror film. That's how
it's The Witch.
Yeah,
it's The
that's
Witch.
how I'll describe Hereditary to you. It's an artsy fartsy horror film. And I think that's where it kind of loses me personally as a viewer. It, like, by the end of the film, it's trying to, like, portray this weird fucking message, and I'm like, just give me a fucking horror film, dude. I don't watch horror films to give me a message. I watch horror films for the tension, for the scares, for this and that, you know, whatever.
Oh, then this is definitely not the type. You shouldn't watch any of the A24 films.
Hereditary, maybe
that's what they all are.
I don't know. Maybe if I give Hereditary another viewing, I will enjoy it more. And again, I'm not saying that Hereditary was a bad movie. It's not. I'm not. I'm just saying that I don't think everyone was hyping this movie up last year, dude. And maybe that's why.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because I didn't listen to any of the hype. I went into it completely blank. It was the opening weekend for it. So none of the hype had happened. So I watched it with a completely clean perspective. And I recommend everybody to do that, because that's the only way that you'll be able to enjoy this movie, honestly. It's one of those movies that you will enjoy if you go in it with no expectations and you just watch it for what it is. It is a dramatic horror film.
Yes,
it has
really is.
Tension building. It's going to give you the creeps. It's going to creep you the fuck out. That's what it does.
Yeah, I agree. But I
What
enjoyed
would you
it.
give it rating wise?
I like the ending, the climax of the film. I liked it. It was really
Dude, that was
creepy and like really well done, but it just takes so long to get there. It's so long, man. I would give it like 6.5, 7. I think it was good. I think it had potential. He has potential, but this one kind of fell short. And maybe Midsommar or any of his other horror films in the future, maybe they will actually like resonate with me. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd probably give it like a 7. I'll give it an 8, honestly.
An 8? Okay.
Yeah, 8 out of 10 for me.
All right. So that was Hereditary. Streaming on Amazon Prime.
Yes.
Yep. Who's next?
Cool.
William, right?
Me?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go off the
Reservation?
off the reservation, off the trails a little bit. I am going to actually. I've been wanting and trying to find a way to review this movie because it's one of my favorite movies, and it's a foreign movie. It's an Italian movie.
Okay.
And being in Italy, I was actually able to track it down. It's streaming on an app called Alta Definizione, which translated means high definition. Literally, that's the name of it. And the movie that I'm going to talk about is a 1991 Italian movie called Mediterraneo.
Ooh.
And literally translated it's Mediterranean. And it won the Academy Award.
Yes, it did.
For Best Foreign Movie back in 1991. It is an amazing movie. I first watched it with my mom, and my mom's a huge, especially European history buff. Having been, my mom was born in like 48, so this happens during or right at the end of the Second World War. So it was around the time that she was born, and also the epilogue takes place afterwards, which is around the time of her teenage years. Which in Italy there were the student revolts and riots and everything, trying to change the way things were run and everything. I fell in love with this movie the moment I saw it, and I want to say the first time I saw it was in 1992, so I was 12. Because the first time I saw it was in black and white. My parents didn't have a color TV until we moved to the States in '93. Not because we couldn't afford it. It was just like our old black and white TV worked. So, no need to go spend money on a new television. It picked up all the channels that it needed. So after seeing it in black and white, and then I finally got to see it in color. In color made me love it even more because the entire movie takes place in Greece.
Yep.
Basically, the synopsis is this small legion. And when I say small, I think there's like maybe 8 or 9 of them, of Italians.
Was it only 8 or 9? I thought it was more than that.
No, I think there's not that many. It's a very small band of them. The full cast alone, I think, is like, let's say there's Lorusso, Montini, Farina, Noventa, so that's 4.
It's 6 of them. It's
5,
only 6.
Yeah, it's 6 of them, because then the other ones are all the extras or the Greek people.
That's right. They're all the Greeks. Yeah. I haven't seen this movie since early 2000, so it's been a while.
I've never seen this movie.
So it's. I think you will love it. It's the soundtrack. It's all Greek music, and it's basically they are tasked to keep this town out of enemy hands, and then they're kind of forgotten there. Mm-hmm. And so they basically start integrating with the local people. One of them falls in love with them. Other ones mate. The captain or the sergeant, like, you can really see how at first he was very skeptical of these people, and then basically becomes one of them, and to the point where one of them stays behind after the Italian military is like, oh wait, we got people over there. When they go get them, he's like, I'm not going back. This is my life now. But there's so much more that happens as well, and it's definitely a movie that if you're into World War II movies and you've seen you've seen every Saving Private Ryan's that you can, or We Were Soldiers, which are all great movies. If you want to see a foreign movie about World War II taking place in a completely different area with a completely different people, watch this movie, Mediterraneo. I know that I've been hoping that it was started streaming somewhere stateside. Unfortunately, nobody has picked it up at this time. That's why I haven't been able to talk about it. But I mean,
it has a Criterion release, so it's probably on the Criterion channel. This is a Criterion film, and that's the copy that I own is a Criterion film collection copy. And
I mean, like I said, like it won the Academy Award for Best Foreign Film in '92, and then in '91 at the David Di Donatello Awards, it won for Best Film, Best Editing, Best Sound. It was nominated for Best Director. There's so many nominations. It won for Best Actor at the Golden Siac Awards. So it won also Golden Globe in Italy for Best Original Score. So it definitely is one of those movies. A lot of people are like, oh, what's your favorite Italian movie? Oh, it's Cinema Paradiso or Life is Beautiful. And I'm not taking anything away from them because they are both really great movies as well. But Mediterraneo is one of those sleeper hits which never really got brought stateside, and I wish that it did. And I hope that it never. By the way, I watched a couple of American movies dubbed in Italian while over there, and I could not stop laughing. I watched the trailer for Spider-Man: Far From Home while I was there, and Nick Fury and Spider-Man is the same guy, so they both have the same voice. It's fucking great. I'm like, because at first I'm like, oh, I'll go watch it in Italian. I haven't seen a movie like this, how it is. And then just watching the credits, or not the credits, the previews, I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I cannot have Nick Fury and Spider-Man sounding exactly the same. It's going to get confusing, and I'm not going to be able to stop laughing.
Yeah.
So, but this movie is like really good. I'm really passionate. I give it a 10 out of 10 because there's really absolutely nothing wrong with this movie.
Dude,
from beginning to end and everything in between, they did their homework.
Yes,
and if you have a chance, if anybody out there that works for Netflix or Amazon or any of the mainstream ones, please bring this movie over. It is worth it, and I will promise you it will be worth your while and worth your time, and you will want to download that soundtrack because it is like no other when it comes to Greek music. So
not only the soundtrack, the cinematography in that movie.
The cinematography is like incredible. Like the Greek island that they picked was just beautiful, and the greenery. And I can only imagine had this been shot nowadays with the high definition and the 4K that we have now.
What
my God. 1991.
Yeah.
So we're talking like analog back then. But I mean, like the greenery and the cinematography.
Well, it's like shot on 16 millimeter. Yeah, it's shot on 16 millimeter, and you could tell. But no, honestly, like this is Captain Corelli's Mandolin done good. It's pretty much a similar story, just with a band of military. Have you ever seen that one with Nick Cage?
Yes,
I did, and yeah, it's what it is. What it is a good comparison, but it's a
way better version.
Yeah, because everybody in this movie gets their own storyline. They get their own arc, and each arc closes very well.
Saving Private Ryan and Captain Corelli's Mandolin for anybody out there.
By the way, I went on the Wikipedia for this movie, and under reception it said Roger Ebert stated that this was the only film he ever walked out of because it was, quote, utterly without redeeming merit, end quote.
I think it's the only walking that he ever did.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm very passionate about this movie, and it is a great movie. And
I wouldn't have been
I
able
will
to tell.
say that Roger Ebert has been wrong on several occasions, and I will say that this is definitely one of them. And yeah, I mean, like, that's why I'm going to hell for comments like that. But but yes, it was definitely, go watch it. Like, if you have a chance, if you can find it, if you can bootleg it, watch it in its original language. It is out there subtitled. I know it is.
It is.
If you happen to speak Italian as a second, third, fourth language, you will absolutely love this movie.
Yeah,
Nice.
it is beautiful movie. I'll probably give it a 7 out of 10. I'm not as passionate as William about it, but it is definitely a beautiful film.
I've never seen it, so...
Yeah. My film that I'm going to be
Wait, did William give it a rating?
Yeah, a 10 out of 10.
Oh, okay, I didn't hear you. Damn, the coveted 10 out of 10. Oh, God.
Yeah.
I'm dying inside. Continue.
So, I am going to continue the whole conspiracy theory thing because this week we are going to be dropping our first episode of our new conspiracy theory and metaphysical podcast called Alt Reality. It's going to be on our Man Bites Retro channel, so please check it out because we're going to be doing the moon landing. And this is another conspiracy theory, another series of conspiracy theories. It's called Sirius, and it's Sirius, and it's actually available on YouTube for free. They had it on Netflix for the longest time, and they took it off, but they decided, since it's a Kickstarter documentary, they put it up on YouTube completely for free because they made their money back and more. So they figured, why not? And this is based on this UFOologist, Stephen Greer. And it's actually based on the book Hidden Truth and Forbidden Knowledge. And basically, this guy, he talks about getting in touch with your metaphysical side because all humans are energy, all humans have energy and can connect to other human beings. We've seen this with auras, we've seen this with a whole vast slew of different things that we experience on a daily basis. Intuition, all these things are connections, they're all metaphysical manifestations of humanity. And what he hypothesizes about is that he states that we could connect with the universe. That if we put our minds to it, we could actually connect with other beings from other planets by, connecting our minds in a group and sending out this connection into the ether, wherever. And he states that we're able to manifest a connection like that. And that's why we've been seeing this kind of influx in UFOs in the 60s and 50s, was because people were getting in touch with Eastern philosophies and learning how to do this on a mass media scale. And because of this and nuclear holocaust and use of nuclear weapons and all that stuff, it kind of was the catalyst for bringing UFOs to our planet. Which, I don't know about you two, but I think that we have been visited, and I do believe that UFOs exist.
They've
and
anally probed me.
Have they now, Brandon?
Wow.
I'm like that guy from Independence Day, Russell, the one that swears that he's gotten abducted. That's me. Yep.
Okay. No, like, hey,
I'm kidding.
Whatever floats your boat, bro.
All I want to say, sir, is that ever since they abducted me and experimented on me, I've been waiting for some payback, sir. So you can count on me, sir.
Damn, that was line for line what he says.
Yeah.
That was
Seriously, you've watched that movie way too many times.
But I will say this: that movie has one of the best monologue / speeches.
Oh yes.
Oh,
Yes.
President speeches.
ever written.
Yes.
It's his, and then when they tried to replicate it in the second movie, I just wanted to go up to the writers and be like, "What were you thinking?"
All right, so
Yeah.
back to
But back to your thing.
yeah.
Serious. So yes, it's definitely, it's a documentary that you should explore because it's something that it doesn't go over the top. It doesn't go over into extremes. It kind of lays out the facts that they have uncovered, and it gives you opinions and voices for people that have been in the military industrial complex. So they give you kind of their sources by doing this. And whether you want to give them credit or not, or credence, that's up to you entirely. The documentary doesn't push you to a direction, oh, believe this because it's true. It doesn't make you believe it. It's like, it gives you the opinions, it gives you the points that it wants to come across, and it lets you draw your own opinions from it, which I kind of appreciate that, because I don't like being told what to believe. I think that's kind of, annoying, and it basically gives me less credence to what they're trying to pitch. This is why I hate Michael Moore as a director, because he literally, like, not just beats you over the head, he stabs you twice and then shoots you in the back with the information.
Yeah.
And it's like no subtlety whatsoever. And on top of that fat man needs to go.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Wow, fat shaming again.
At least it's not you, William.
I mean, I guess, yeah, I got that going, which is like,
Hey, he deserves to be fat shamed. Sorry, but it's the truth. Anyways, so yeah, this man, he actually does a good job of presenting the case, and kind of, for anybody out there that is still trying to figure out if they believe in UFOs and believe in all these conspiracy theories, quote unquote, and all that stuff, it's a fascinating documentary to kind of wet your feet on and really kind of touch upon the subjects of conspiracy theories. It's very good at that, and it does a subtle job of it that you could actually appreciate, and it will give you the evidence whether you could make up your mind and say, yeah, I believe in this stuff, or nah, I don't feel like going any further into this. And let me tell you guys, if you want to go any further into it, there's a whole world out there of crazy things that you're gonna, once you go down that rabbit hole like I did, it opens up so much can of worms. And man, some of the things that come out there, it's pretty insane. And this week we're doing the 50th anniversary of the moon landing, so we're talking about the conspiracy theory of, was the moon landing fake? So if you guys want to check that out, please do so. This documentary I give an 8 out of 10. I thought it was good, it was informative, and it was quick.
Where's the streaming?
So yeah, on YouTube.
YouTube. Oh yeah, you said it was free. Okay. Alrighty. All right, so if you enjoyed our show, I'm crazy. I need sleep. If you enjoyed our show, of course, check out our other shows, and also visit manbitesfilm.com. I said it right again. Diversely.
No. You see, you screwed up one of them.
Diverselygeek.
I feel like I'm missing an inside joke here.
No, because I kept.
He always screws up one of the names.
I always said media. I always said manbitesmedia.com instead of manbitesfilm.com.
Yeah.
So,
you're the worst.
yeah, also visit diverselygeek.org. And also now we have John over at Narcotic Castro, who's on YouTube, but he's also now part of our family. So you can find all of his...
Our podcast family.
Podcast.
English.
I need sleep.
What?
I need sleep. William needs sleep. You can go, like, hang off the ceiling.
I'm fine.
You know what? I'm trying here.
I am binge watching the shit out of, for the first time ever, Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Ooh.
I have never seen it before, and I am hooked on this thing. It's like fucking crack.
Nice. I've never seen The Next Generation like fully throughout, but like what I have seen, I really enjoy it. I'm like, this is really good.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. The way you said that. All right, so it's my turn to pick the movie for next week. So we are going to be watching Chasing Amy, which is streaming on Hulu.
All right.
What'd you say, William?
I said, damn it.
Why?
It's my least favorite out of all the
What?
the original.
You know, I didn't want to go for your stereotypical Clerks or, Dogma or all that stuff, so I was...
Or Mallrats?
Or Mallrats, yeah, exactly. I was like, let's do Chasing Amy. Chasing Amy, I don't really hear...
Chocolate covered pretzel?
I don't really hear of that movie a lot. It's been a while, so this is definitely going to be a nice refresher of Chasing Amy.
And for anybody out there, it's actually on Criterion Collection as well.
It? I did not know that.
Yes, it is a Criterion film.
Wow, look at that. So we're going to be doing Chasing Amy for next week. Thank you, William.
You're most welcome.
Thank you, Lewis.
Thank you, Brandon.
I'm Brandon, and I am going to be going to sleep. We'll see you next time on the next episode of
Good
Manbitesfilm.
night.
Bye.